Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and a very good evening to all of you. I welcome you to StudyIQ in this daily PIB analysis videos. These videos both in Hindi and English, they come in the evening and in the morning. The Hindu daily editorial analysis videos, they come both in Hindi and English. Okay, and the PDFs you will get on the Telegram channel of the StudyIQ and on the website of it, and the Facebook group which is there. I have created Amit Sani group for IAS preparation. There also I upload these PDFs. Okay, so let's start with the quote. You see, Gautam Buddha was one of the most practical person on the earth, and he said that the trouble is you think you have time, but time is limited. Every time these seconds are passing, and if you have a goal, this time would go very fast. If you are spending a good time, then this time would fly. That's the thing. So you have to manage, you have to struggle, you have to consistently make your efforts in every moment, every second, every minute, every hour, every day. That should be the path. And in this boring process, if somebody gets through, then that person would be successful. And about these pen drive courses by StudyIQ, one of the best courses created by experts and by these selected people. Stay at your home and just study. You don't need to waste your time, money, anything by going anywhere in these offline coachings and all. And these are the best courses which will guide you in the best possible way. MCQs that I gave to you yesterday regarding the SFAC, it's not a statutory body, it's an autonomous office under the Ministry of Agriculture, autonomous bodies under this Ministry of Agriculture, and FPOs are created under it, but not for the exporters. These are for the farmers and their produce. Okay, so how they manage it, how they sell it. So regarding that, farmer produce organizations are there. Okay, FPOs. And D, none would be the correct answer here. And next, the Deen Dayal Disabled Rehabilitation Scheme. It started way back in 1999, not in 16. So that's why it's wrong. And certainly NGOs are given financial assistance under it. So 2 would be the correct answer here. And Gulshan Mahal is the name of the new open museum of Indian cinema. It's in Mumbai. So Gulshan Mahal is the name. Next, today it is the year-end review of Ministry of Women and Child Development. Okay, so it is going to be a huge data, and these data are extremely important from the prelims and especially for the mains point of view. Directly you can put all these points in the mains examination. Okay, and I will tell you, I will keep telling you in the course that how you should put them. So we will be dividing it in 2 or 3 lessons because the data is huge and it's the biggest compilation, yearly compilation, so it's important one. Here the Poshan Abhiyan is discussed, and OneStop Centres are discussed, Mahila e-Hearts are discussed, Matritva Vandana Yojana is discussed, gender budgeting issue is discussed, and the juvenile justice boards. These are the main highlights. Okay. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, the first and most important, the flagship scheme program of government, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, started from Haryana, where the child sex ratio was in peril, and it started in 2015, I think, and it's a tri-ministerial convergent effort. You see, Ministry of WCD and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and Ministry of HRD, who controls and maintains these education sector and all. So these 3 ministries are making efforts to raise the standards and saving the girl child and maintaining their lives. All facilities are available to them, all equity issues are there in the society, and they are never suppressed, and they are educated and they are progressing. That's the main aim here. So multi-sectoral efforts are there. Okay, 405 districts were identified who were low on the child sex ratio. Okay, and the media and the advocacy outreach, these are the very important and crucial points here with this scheme, because you see, awareness is the main issue with the gender equality. Okay, and making people aware, making people known about the importance of a girl child and this equality in the society, how it is useful. So this outreach, this advocacy of it, and the media campaigning and all, these alerts are extremely important. So there in 2, 3, 5 districts especially these are done, where more focus is there, more intensity is needed. Okay, and this act of preconceptional and prenatal diagnostic techniques, that's a very harsh law, and that is needed actually, because people, they diagnose about the sex of a child before its birth, and that's the biggest issue this Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme is dealing with. Okay, so that these embryos of girl childs are not thrown out of their uterus. That is the main savior here. Okay, and harsh punishments are there for that. Now manifestation of overall development of the girl child. Anyhow, sanitation, education, opportunities, asymmetries, they are tackling. So these are the main goals under this scheme, and it is going to complete in 4 years, importantly. So in 2019 it will be completed, and there is a clarion call for Beti Bachao Beti Padhao slogan. Okay, and it is owned by all the ministries, all the agendas, all the programs related with a girl child and the women in India. You see everywhere, you see this slogan. Okay, so it's a very famous and very much owned an idea by all, and it has become a national agenda now. And in the selected district, it has been observed that the child ratio is improved. You see, 2 days back there was a news from Haryana that child ratio raised from around 870 to 924. So that's a great improvement, one of the best improvement in the Haryana districts. So this situation is a great result of this implementation of the program. Okay, and improving trend officially was observed within 1 year in 104 districts. So these are the proofs of that. Now Unified District Information System for Education, UDISE, it's by Ministry of HRD, and they gave the data of educational sector where the improvement has been seen in girl childs, where in the secondary school enrollment it has come now to 81%, and it was only 76% in 2014. So within 4 years 81% means improvement of 5% is there. Okay, and construction of girl toilets in every school. These things are the common observations where these are results after this implementation of the program. Okay, and in 244 districts this multi-sectoral intervention is going on, and in the rest of these districts these things will be done with all the needs and the full pace. Next, the district level center for women. These are created, district level centers, and you see collector would be heading these implementation of this program. And this Mahila Shakti Kendra scheme, MSK scheme, it was started in 2018, and now it is giving a foothold at district level to this Beti Bachao program. Okay, this Mahila Shakti Kendra scheme is giving the foothold to Beti Bachao program on the district level. Remember this line. Okay, and collector would be the leader here of all this physical implementation, and special state task force are created where chief secretary, who is the highest administrative head in the state level, so chief secretary would be heading this task force in every state. Okay, special task force. 235 districts are to be covered through alert district media advocacy and outreach. The same thing that I discussed, that the awareness is the main approach which is taken under this program. Okay, so that is giving us deeper positive results. Now women welfare, the second biggest agenda here. Under it, one-stop centers are created, they are set up. You see, the biggest problem with the women and the girls, whenever they are in stress, you see they are not habitual of complaining about this issue, and all the time they are sustaining all these injuries and all these torture and suppressions. Always for the centuries they have been doing like this, and they are caught up in so-called Chardiwari of our society. Now see, the biggest solution for this problem, nothing can be better than this one-stop center, where they would call at one place. Okay, they will appeal at this place, and all referrals would be given to them, whether they need any police help or medical help, legal help, psychological help, or temporary shelter if they need, they all will be provided. So one-stop centers are initiated in every district. Okay, in a phased manner they will be done in all the districts. Right now I think around 150 are working. Okay, and especially this scheme is funded through the Nirbhaya fund, which was created after the Nirbhaya incident in 2012. In December this happened, and after that Nirbhaya fund was created, and out of this Nirbhaya fund only this women welfare program is this one-stop center is working. So funding is coming from there. And as I told you, 279, sorry, not 150, 279 OSCs have become operational, and it will be set up in all 718 districts of India. India is having 718 districts right now. So in every district there will be one-stop centers. And women helpline is also created for that. Now see, there is a uniform number is 181, where any woman, any girl can call, whether it's an emergency situation or non-emergency situation. There will be instant response and referrals would be given, where police or one-stop center, hospitals or psychological help or any shelter, whatever they need according to the situation, that would be referred. Okay, and this scheme is also funded through Nirbhaya Fund. So two schemes are funded by Nirbhaya Fund, one women helpline program and one stop center, both by Nirbhaya Fund. So that's important here. Next, sexual harassment at workplace. You see, this is one of the most important act, because when the changes are happening and when women are stepping out, when they are having support from the families, but if something happens at workplace, then they will never be allowed again to come out of their houses, because they will say that we can support you but society will never support you. So this issue should have been taken with very great intensity and support, and so that this act becomes the most important act, the Harassment at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act. You see, there was mandatory conditions that in all the workplaces there would be committees formed, and one member would be a senior woman, and senior members of the society would be there if any kind of committee are locally created. Okay, all kinds of workplaces, whether they are organized or unorganized, private or government, temporary or permanent, any kind of employment is there where women are working, so this act would be applied. Its horizon, its spread is too wide. Okay, and students, apprentices, laborers, domestic workers, all are covered under it. Okay, and you see, online complaint management system, that is called SHE-box, that means sexual harassment electronic box, that is given under it, and this portal offers the facility of making online complaints, so instant response would be there. Okay, and the Vishaka guidelines, you must have heard about this. These guidelines are also related to this workplace harassment issue. Okay, the Vishaka incident happened in Rajasthan, and this Bhamri Devi case was there in 1997. So after that happened, based on these guidelines only, this act is working. Now the child marriage. This has been tackled a lot in the country like India, where child marriages were a very common norm. But nowadays, we don't see them much. But still in the rural areas, these are happening. So the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006 is working, and some amendments are proposed that no relaxation would be given, any kind of consent would not be given, and from the start, these kind of marriages will be cancelled and they will not be allowed at any cost. Okay, so the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006 is important, and the amendments are proposed by the government. Okay, so they are thinking about it. Next, training of elected women representatives, EWRs, elected women representatives. Somehow, due to reservation and due to this Panchayati Raj Act and all 73rd, 74th Amendment Acts, you see, women, they have got a great boost. They have got a great appraisal in these elected representative scenario, where they are elected in villages, but they should be empowered more, and on the grassroots level they should be change makers. So training is required. Okay, so training is required for these elected representatives as women, and you see, around 414 districts were covered in 17-18 for these training programs, and in September 18, second phase started, and around 310 districts will be covered in the rest of the 19 states. So in total, whole India would be covered here, and the aim is leadership qualities, management skills, better implementation of the schemes and these legislations and the programs and public works. In everywhere, women should have improvements. Okay, management skills and leadership qualities should be improved, so that they can be a great addition in the working and the execution of the programs throughout India. You see, it has been observed that women, they are way more sincere than men, and the corruption issues are hardly there in any case, and they are always supportive to the government, to the administration in implementing these schemes, and they are so sincere and their outcomes are so great. We have seen in the case of self-help groups and all, so always women are great in these management issues. So that's why if these are given training, then nothing can be better than that. Grievance redressal cell, that is also working from the ministry itself, and anybody can send their complaints to ministry wcd@nic.in. NIC is you see there in every website of the government. This is National Informatics Center, and it is managing all the websites and all the digital platforms of Government of India. Okay, next issue is the gender budgeting. Gender budgeting, it was recognized that budgets are an important way to significantly reduce these vulnerabilities which are there around women and the children. So it's not like that you divide the budget in males and females. It's not like that, but indirectly or directly, anywhere if some issue is related with women or gender sensitive areas, so this gender budgeting should be institutionalized. How? That any outcome based approach would be applied, so that whatever budgets which are allocated for the situation improvement of women and children, that is done. That should not be wasted in any way, and that should bring positive outcomes. And the allocation of funds, that should be targeted for the specific groups, and especially women and children, and separate categories are also there, okay, according to financial status and region wise and all. So advocacy and guidance, training and capacity, and facilitating gender budget analysis, these are the components of gender budgeting. Okay, and performance audit would be there. So these are the focus areas, and across central government and the state governments initiatives, programs, and their budgeting, this thing would be taken care of. Next, Ministry of WCD provides financial support to central and state government institutes for imparting training to different stakeholders to strengthen the process of gender budgeting. Okay, so till now 188 training programs are completed by the ministry, and gender budgeting cells, they are formed in all ministries and departments, and in state nodal centers are created, and they will be created in all the states. Okay, and public resources in the form of budgets which are earmarked adequately towards addressing women's concerns, they are totally focused, and their outcomes should be there. That is the main aim of these particular specific budgeting, which are focused on the gender sensitive issues. Okay, if we look at the present scenario, around 5% of the total union budget, that we can call as a gender budget, gender based budgeting. Okay, next, capacity building is the main aim, and collaborative efforts with the Ministry of Finance, Niti Aayog, institutional level with National Institute of Financial Management, that helps in policy making and this finance management of the government. Okay, so with all of these ministries and institutions, the WC ministry is collaborating, so that internally from this ministry and externally with collaboration of all these organizations and ministries, the capacity building can happen, and this is anyhow boosted. So continued engagement with Niti Aayog would be a reality, and Ministry of Finance and other key ministries, they will be collaborating, they will be giving immense support to WCD ministry. Next, scheme for adolescent girls. You see, this age group is the most vulnerable groups, 11 to 14. Most of the population is poor, they cannot afford all these issues, and already a bias is against girls. So in most of these houses, they don't want to spend anything on girls apart from their feeding and all. They cannot maintain their hygiene status, their medical status, their nutritional status. So all these things are targeted under these schemes specifically for the adolescent girls. The Sabla scheme you must have heard about, and these are also related to this particular group. And this particular age group is very much a changing phase of life, where all kinds of frustrations and physical changes and anxieties and all kinds of confusions are there, and the issue of health. You see, a lot of infections and a lot of psychological anxieties and all, these are related with these age groups. So their girls suffer a lot. So regarding that, these schemes and these programs are working, and nutritional support is the main thing, because most of the girls are anemic. Okay, So additional aims are that they should be back to formal schooling and skill trainings in all the districts of the country. This is being implemented from April 18, and budget allocation of around 500 crore rupees is done in this budget, present budget which is going on. So these are regarding the adolescent girls. And Swadhar Grah, one Krishna Kutir was inaugurated in August month last year. It was for the widows, and that was constructed in Mathura district, where this Vrindavan is. That's a religious place in Mathura, okay. And this is called Krishna Kutir. 1,000 beds home is created. You see a lot of widows, they were already living in the Vrindavan area, and a lot of cases of exploitation and their suppression was reported. So now it is becoming a support from the state government and the central government. So Maneka Gandhi, the union minister, and the chief minister of UP, they inaugurated Krishna Kutir there. Although there is a need all over India, the places like Krishna Kutir, so that the shelter can be given to displaced and kicked off women, okay. So that's important. And budget allocation has also been done for this. Around 1.5 crore rupees are given for this financial year. Next, Ujjwala scheme. Don't confuse it with the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. That's Ujjwala scheme. It is for the women in distress. And if any kind of trouble they are facing regarding trafficking, suppression or torturing, they can complain here, okay. So 141 rehabilitation homes are created for that, and budget allocation is done. Around 5.5 crore rupees are released to 9 states, okay. So that's a thing. So it's a 4-5 years old scheme. It's not a new scheme. Last one is the Poshan Abhiyan. Poshan Abhiyan is the scheme for holistic nourishment, especially for the kids and women. You see, women are mostly anemic and nutrition level are very low, and kids, they are out of their growth because they are not able to get a proper nutrition, no protein, no fat, these are given to them, so their bodies are totally stunted and wasted, okay. So this Poshan Abhiyan started as a great game changing scheme from Jhunjhunu, Rajasthan in March 18, and to reduce malnutrition from the country in a phased manner. That is the main aim. Timely service delivery would be given, and target of Abhiyan is mainly bringing down stunting kids, the age group of 0 to 6, from 40% around to 25% in 2022, so around 15%. So this is being done, and 315 districts were covered in financial year 17-18, and the rest of the districts will be covered in the present budget, and funds are given to this. And September 18 was celebrated as the Poshan Mah, Rashtriya Poshan Mah, means the nutrition month, okay. And the award ceremonies were also there in October month. So these are the highlighted additions. Next important thing regarding the Poshan Abhiyan is that it is converged with a lot of programs. You see, it is converged on the grassroots level with Anganwadi services. These are the most crucial ones, and it is converged with the Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana and scheme for adolescent girls. And apart from that, other important programs. Here the information is given regarding these yojanas, that they are belonging to which ministry. So this data is very important, okay. Janani Suraksha Yojana, here it is a collaboration with it, and National Health Mission of Ministry of Health, Swachh Bharat Mission, which is of the Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation, and Public Distribution System, which is of Ministry of Consumer Affairs, and Narega scheme, which is of Ministry of Rural Development, and the Drinking Water and Toilet, which is of Ministry of Panchayati Raj, and urban local bodies, which are handled by Ministry of Urban Development. So collaboration and convergence is done with all these schemes, all these ministries. So that is important in the Poshan Abhiyan. So it's a very huge and very wide spectrum scheme, okay. One more additional thing is there, that ICDS, Integrated Child Development Scheme, which is going on since 70s in India, and ICDS Common Application Software is created. It is implemented. Here all these Anganwadi workers, they will be feeding the information, the ground level information in the names of implementation and the execution of all these schemes, that will be updated in this software through the mobile application. And this is how they are going to check all the implementation and the ground working of these Poshan Abhiyan, okay. So these are the MCQs, try them, and these are going to be extremely important this year. I am telling you, a lot of data will be directly there in the prelims examination next year, this year in the prelims. Thanks a lot, and this is my Facebook ID, and you can find that group there where all these PDFs are uploaded daily. Thanks a lot. Keep watching. It was Amit.